Ladies and gentlemen, now available via my ProWrestlingTees.com online shop, Get Off My TV. The perfect shirt you could be wearing every Monday night when we see the likes of Kane, The Big Show, Ryback, and among many others that we just can't stand to see on Monday nights. I now bring to you and available for purchase this weekend, starting today. Get Off My TV, man. ProWrestlingTees.com/offthescript, $19.99. Get your new merchandise and support Off the Script today. Once again, that's ProWrestlingTees.com/offthescript. What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. How to do the pause, man. I didn't do it yesterday. Episode 100. Part number 2 of the number 1 fucking podcast in your subscription boxes right here on YouTube.com. This is Off the Script, the number 1 fucking place on YouTube where you get everything you need. WWE, man. Thank you guys so much for watching me, and thank you for the overwhelming love and support on part 1 of episode 100 yesterday, man. I got just as much news today as I did yesterday and all weekend long. But before we get into the news, I do have one massive, major announcement. If you guys have ever wanted Off the Script on the go, if you guys have ever wanted a completely different show from what I do here on YouTube, okay, everything that I do here on YouTube will remain the same. I am not changing a goddamn thing. I am not changing the way you are going to get Off the Script. If you want this very show the way it is for the last 100 episodes, you're going to have to tune into YouTube, okay? That's just the way it's going to be. This is what is going to help me and this channel grow. But what I've done for you guys as a celebration for episode 100, okay, I recorded a completely different podcast on Friday morning. I took an extra hour and a half out of my day and I recorded a podcast for you guys talking about Raw, SmackDown, and I reviewed NXT, plus a few other things I threw in there, man. My few personal opinions on a few topics in the WWE as we head towards the Royal Rumble. You can access all this for free. It is completely free. All I ask for you guys is to show me the same level of support that you do here on Off the Script for this very same podcast. Podbean.com. You can download the app via iTunes or download the app via the Apple Store and Google Play. So that's Apple and Android devices, okay? You can access this for free. You can listen on the go, whether you're going to work, on the train, making coffee in the morning, reading the newspaper. You can do anything you guys want with this, man. Downloadable on the go. And if you people don't stop fucking texting me, I said I was recording, and these people continue to fucking text me. I don't believe it. Now, no more interruptions, asshole, okay? Podbean. I'm going to leave you a link down in the description towards the very top. Please go and show it some love. I'm going to try and do one every week, and this podcast will have new episodes every single Sunday, okay? So make sure you guys go and check that out. That's podbean.com. It's Off the Script with JD from NY. Listen on the go. A completely different experience from yours truly, man. So go and show it. Go show it some love, and I would greatly appreciate that, all right? On to what we do here, man. Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Facebook. Follow me all over social media. Twitter's the best place to be if you want to reach out to me. 6,000 followers and growing. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. As always, this is the number 1 source for WWE right here on YouTube.com. And if you want to support the show via a PayPal donation or a t-shirt sale via my online shop at ProWrestlingTees.com, beautiful t-shirts, man. Get Off My TV, the brand new t-shirt, official merchandise for Off the Script, sound like hotcakes. Thank you guys to who have already purchased the t-shirt. $19.99, ships internationally all over the world. You guys can have your very own Get Off My TV t-shirts during those sweaty moments on Monday Night Raw where we see the Big Show, the Kane, the Rybacks. It's just perfect, man. Make yourself feel comfortable and wear it in pride when you see those pieces of shit on your TV you just don't want to see. All right, so that would be awesome if you guys can go and do that as well. Now, I got a lot of news. I have a lot of news. Let's get into it. Let's start off with this Daniel Bryan situation. And I'm sick and tired of this Daniel Bryan situation, man. I really am. And if Bryan is not at the Rumble, and Daniel Bryan is not at WrestleMania, I truly believe the WWE is going to be foolish enough to let Daniel Bryan's contract run out, and he's going to be a free man to go wherever he wants to work. I think that's what they're doing. And I know there's some conspiracy theorists out there, and, you know, this one isn't too far-fetched. I mean, it's certainly believable. WWE holding Daniel Bryan back, even though they would like to medically clear him, but they will not bring him back because they know if they bring Bryan back to TV, he's going to be the overwhelming face in the company, and people are going to want to see him, and they're going to want to see him in the main event, and it's going to ruin everything that they have accomplished with Roman Reigns. I certainly believe that story. I would not doubt that for 1 second. This is WWE we're talking about. This is Roman Reigns we're talking about. Of course WWE would hold someone as popular as Daniel Bryan off TV so their pretty boy, #1 man in Roman Reigns isn't getting the shaft. That's not that hard to believe. Certainly believable. But so much has been speculated and rumored about Daniel Bryan in the WWE. It's no secret that the former WWE World Heavyweight Champion and the WWE have been at odds about his ability to wrestle. The two sides have been in a stalemate for months about his in-ring status. The debate has left the rumor mill to speculate for way too long and spin its wheels about Bryan potentially returning to the ring or finally retiring for good. The last report I reported about this is that Bryan and the WWE have come or were in talks to come to some type of mutual agreement. Whatever that was remains to be seen. This week, there was a rumor that WWE would be releasing Daniel Bryan from his contract, and I read this and then read soon after that it was nothing but a fucking complete rumor, but I went off on a Twitter rant, all right? At JD from NY206 if you guys are not following me, when things like this happen, which would have left Daniel Bryan open to pursue other promotions like New Japan Pro Wrestling. However, that rumor was debunked, and Bryan is in the same place he has been for almost a year now. After this week, it's clear that WWE is content with keeping Bryan on the shelf and allowing his contract to expire. According to Dave Meltzer and the Wrestling Observer newsletter, this is how things are going to remain for Daniel Bryan and the WWE. The report claims that Bryan will be on the shelf and there is no specific date for his return. He is not expected to be involved in the Royal Rumble, and he is not expected to be involved in anything concerning WrestleMania 32. The issue is that Dr. Joseph Maroon, Dr. Joseph Magoon, is what I should be fucking calling him. Joseph the Goon Maroon. That's what he's going to be fucking labeled from now on this channel. Dr. Joseph the Goon Maroon. Won't clear him, and Vince McMahon will not give his approval for Bryan to be back in a WWE ring without Dr. Magoon and his approval first. Unfortunately, there's nothing for Daniel Bryan to do but wait to be cleared or his contract to expire. I don't know how I feel about this. If Bryan is not in the Rumble, which he should be, and if Bryan is not at WrestleMania, I'm done. I'm done with Daniel Bryan. And Daniel Bryan, more than likely, is done with the WWE. If he's not back between now and April, he's done. His contract will expire, and then he will be free to go wherever he wants to go. I still am going to stick to my guns, and I'm going to say that Bryan is being withheld from in-ring activity in WWE because WWE does not want to risk anything with Roman Reigns. I mean, this man is medically cleared by several top physicians in the United States. Some have said that with someone that has his condition and that has been through the injuries and, concussions that he has had, he is 100%. He's ready to go. And I want you guys to think about this. Do we really trust the word of the Goon Maroon? Do we really trust Magoon? I mean, this is the same man who was in charge of the WWE roster only a mere 2 years ago when CM Punk was there. CM Punk had a fucking staph infection. And Dr. Maroon said, and I quote, "Oh, we'll just put another Z-Pack on it." This is the man that I'm reporting, and this is the man that has Daniel Bryan's career in his hand. Right? He has Daniel Bryan's career in the palm of his hands, and he will not wrestle again unless Dr. Joseph Magoon gives the okay. This is the same man we trusted with CM Punk back 2 years ago when he had a staph infection. Oh, put another Z-Pack on it. What does CM Punk do? He goes to another physician at the fucking request of his wife, and the doctor says, "You're lucky to be alive." Dr. Joseph Magoon almost let CM Punk die under the WWE umbrella. And why would Punk lie? Why would Punk go on the airwaves with his best friend on a trusted podcast and lie? Punk has no reason to lie. Punk wanted the best for not only the WWE, but for himself as well. He felt like he was cheated. He felt like he was being fucking short-sticked in the WWE. So, why would he lie? Everything he said was probably 100% true. So, Daniel Bryan, let me get this straight. Daniel Bryan's contract more than likely will expire with WWE. Punk will have walked out of the WWE. So you mean to tell me in 2.5 years, you're going to let Punk and Daniel Bryan walk out of your company? I don't know what company would let a Bryan and a Punk just walk out and treat those guys like, I don't care. I don't care. They're easily replaced. No, they're not. No, they're not. Daniel Bryan and his worth to this company has never even been fucking exposed. We haven't even uncovered a fucking tenth of what Daniel Bryan could mean to this company. I've said it for years. Bryan could have been the number one man after John Cena, and he was well on his way to being that. There was not one guy in the WWE who garnered and got the reaction of the crowd like Daniel Bryan. Not anyone since the fucking Rock and Austin during the Attitude Era have we seen reactions to a WWE superstar like that. And you know what? It was all genuine. It was all organic. Daniel Bryan gave you him, and the fans fell in love with him. WWE wanted nothing to do with Daniel Bryan because Daniel Bryan got himself over. Daniel Bryan, the human being, pretty much connected with everybody watching the product, and he became a fucking sensation, and the Yes Movement was born. WWE didn't like that, and they tried to stop the Yes Movement. And they still continue to try and stop the Yes Movement because it wasn't a WWE-produced idea. You see, Roman Reigns is all produced. WWE wants you to cheer Roman Reigns. They didn't want you to cheer Daniel Bryan. That's the way it will always, always, always be. And it's a shame that the WWE is withholding Daniel Bryan. Because Daniel Bryan would inject a massive amount of adrenaline into a overly shitty, stale, lazy, boring, cure for insomniacs Monday Night Raw. He would. And there's not one person listening to me that can tell me, JD, you're wrong. Daniel Bryan is needed on WWE television. Especially with John Cena being out now. You want WrestleMania to be the grandest fucking spectacle of them all. Why wouldn't you have Daniel Bryan there? I mean, do you know what he could add to the card? I don't think Vince understands that. I don't think the goon Maroon understands that. So whatever agenda is going on in WWE, I don't like it. And this story has gone on for far too long. For all we fucking know, this could be smoke and mirrors. This could be smoke and mirrors, and this could be WWE feeding Dave Meltzer reports to shut everybody up. And before you know it, Daniel Bryan could be a surprise entrant on January 24th in the Rumble. I don't know. But I will tell you this. He will add to Monday Night Raw. He will add to WrestleMania. And if he's not in the Rumble or at WrestleMania, this Daniel Bryan story is fucking dead. Pull the fucking plug. It's over. Daniel Bryan will not be back in a WWE ring ever, ever, ever again. This is the one last opportunity for WWE to bring him back. And if you're going to let him, and then you let Punk walk out, I'll sit here and fucking laugh. Because that is the dumbest business move I have ever seen in my entire life. I don't give a shit what lawsuits you got. If Daniel Bryan has fucking paperwork and okays from every fucking top tier medical doctor he's been to, who the fuck is Dr. Maroon? I mean, are you fucking kidding me? So fucking stupid. And what I gave you with Daniel Bryan and his involvement at WrestleMania, if I was in control, would be fucking brilliant. Kevin Owens, Intercontinental Championship. Boom, they tear the house down. I don't think anybody would complain about that. I really wouldn't. But if Bryan is not at WrestleMania, the whole card changes. And I'll talk about that in a second. Because if Bryan is not at WrestleMania, and he's not at the Rumble, and he doesn't get into it with Kevin Owens, and he doesn't go for the Intercontinental Championship, at last year's Night of Champions, Chris Jericho was revealed to be the mystery partner of Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, and the trio took on the Wyatt family. Y2J ended up taking the loss, and in a fit of frustration, he disrespectfully, Jesus Christ, I can't even fucking talk right now, disrespectfully left the ring and created tension specifically with Ambrose before leaving. I mentioned this. I mentioned it where you heard it first, right here. Okay? After the fucking fact. News that broke on Friday night. For the first time, I mentioned this. Keep that in mind. That action from Jericho still has not been addressed by Ambrose, WWE programming, or the WWE Universe. In fact, Y2J returned on Monday Night Raw a few weeks ago, and no one said a word. And it appears that moment will be forgotten unless it is a seed that is still growing for WrestleMania 32. On the most recent episode of Talk is Jericho, he confirmed that his recent appearances and his entry into the Royal Rumble is not a one-shot deal, and that he's currently on an extended run and will most likely last through WrestleMania 32 in April. According to a report from a few sources, it's being rumored that Jericho will be turning heel very soon and entering a feud with Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship. The rumor is backed by a WWE announcement through an email that Jericho will be teaming with Sheamus to go against Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose at a SmackDown this coming Tuesday in Dayton, Ohio. It's possible that this match will be a dark match, but it's still unusual that Jericho would be teaming with Sheamus, who is a clear heel character. Many things could happen this week or at the Royal Rumble, so if WWE runs an angle where Ambrose eliminates Y2J and then he takes revenge, that would make a lot of sense. Y2J is scheduled for Fastlane in February. We'll have to wait and see what Jericho has in store for his current run. Now, how does this play into the whole Daniel Bryan story that I mentioned? Well, if it was up to me and Bryan was brought back like I think he should be, I think Bryan and Kevin Owens would be the absolute best thing you could do for WrestleMania. And you have those two fight for the Intercontinental Championship. Obviously, Dean Ambrose would have to win the title from Kevin Owens would have to win the title from Dean Ambrose at the Royal Rumble, which I would book that way, and then he would move on to Bryan for WrestleMania. And if you wanted to build Dean Ambrose in the Rumble and Jericho in the Rumble, you can have Dean Ambrose eliminate Jericho within the Rumble, and you build towards a feud, okay? Or you could go the simple route here and have Jericho, for whatever reason, cost Dean Ambrose the title and have Kevin Owens reclaim the title due to outside interference from Chris Jericho. And then you can have Jericho again fuck over Dean Ambrose in the Royal Rumble, and you could start the feud immediately that Monday Night Raw. You could go either way. But a Jericho-Ambrose Intercontinental Championship, if Ambrose is walking out of the Royal Rumble still with the Intercontinental Championship, more than likely he will be going against Chris Jericho. And the storyline that I just talked about in this news report will happen in the Rumble. It'll be Ambrose and Jericho for the title at WrestleMania. Where does that leave Kevin Owens? If that match is for the Intercontinental Championship, more than likely I think Kevin Owens will be challenging The Undertaker. I think that's where Kevin Owens' road will lead him. If he's not involved in the Intercontinental Championship, if he's not involved with a Dean Ambrose, if he's not involved with a returning Daniel Bryan, I think Kevin Owens is going to go one-on-one with The Undertaker. But I did call it. I think this match would be best served as a complete grudge match with no title on the line. Jericho doesn't need to be fighting for titles. He really doesn't. I think Daniel Bryan should be back. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I think Owens and Bryan for the Intercontinental Championship, where Daniel Bryan reclaims the title at WrestleMania, would be fantastic. And then Dean Ambrose can go on to fight Chris Jericho in a grudge match at WrestleMania. 2 matches down for Mania, and 2 matches that I think would steal the show, or possibly steal the show, in Dallas. So that's just my opinion on that, and that's what I think is going to happen with all different scenarios, okay? If Owens is not in the title picture for the IC title, he's going one-on-one with The Undertaker. And if Ambrose walks out of the Rumble with the title, more than likely we're going to see Jericho and Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania, all right? Stone Cold Steve Austin, speaking of WrestleMania, it seems like every year there's a new rumor about Stone Cold Steve Austin coming out of retirement to have one more match at WrestleMania. For years, it was about Austin versus Punk, which WWE dropped the ball on. So fucking stupid. And this year, it was Brock Lesnar. Despite the annual rumors about it, Stone Cold is retired from in-ring action, and he's hung up his boots. However, that doesn't mean that Austin won't be in Dallas for WrestleMania 32. Stone Cold appeared on this week's Ross Report, which also hit episode 100, coincidentally. Happy to be sharing a 100th episode with good old JR. Same thing here on Off the Script. Thing is, I don't have a Stone Cold Steve Austin as a special guest on my 100th episode like he did. That's fucking awesome. The two friends discussed many topics, but Ross specifically asked Stone Cold if he would be in Texas for WrestleMania. He says, I am 99% sure I'll be in Texas for WrestleMania. In what form or capacity or whatever, I have no idea. We haven't discussed anything creatively. One idea makes sense for me to be there, but I can't talk about how right now, obviously. I'd love to do this one endeavor they're talking about. Whether we do something in the ring or if I'm part of the show remains to be seen. A big part of WrestleMania weekend for me is going to the Hall of Fame. By hook or by crook, I see myself being there. Okay? So that is that. And Steve Austin will be at WrestleMania. 99.9% sure he'll be at WrestleMania. Stone Cold will be there. Okay? I doubt he's going to be doing anything in the ring. I would be completely shocked. Obviously, I would be open to it. I would be welcome to it. But I'm pretty sure he's going to be a part of something, maybe backstage-wise, segment-wise. They're going to get him in the ring for a segment. Nothing physical at all. And like I said, if it is something physical, I would be completely shocked. But I would be welcome to it because I would love to see Austin, just like everybody else, have one last match. And speaking of Stone Cold Steve Austin, I am trying valiantly, because it's sold out everywhere, to get his beer. And if I do get his beer, I'm going to be doing a live review of Stone Cold's Broken Skull IPA right here on this channel. So look forward to that sometime in February. Letting you guys know right now, I'm throwing that out there. Trying to get it shipped over from California because that's the only place I can get it. They don't sell it here in New York. And if I do get it, I'm going to be doing a live review of it, showing it off, showing the bottle off, showing the beer off, describing it, telling you how it tastes, etc., etc. So look forward to that in February, okay? Last year, the first annual Fastlane pay-per-view happened, and it was okay. There was nothing really spectacular about it. For years, the event in the middle of the road to WrestleMania was the Elimination Chamber, but WWE felt it was time for a change. Last year's card had many matches from John Cena versus Rusev for the U.S. Championship and Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns, which was a great match, by the way, to determine the number one contender to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 31. Looking back at that event roughly a year later, it was a nice transition from the Royal Rumble to WrestleMania 31. But the WWE is looking to make Fastlane something bigger than a nice transition. According to F4WOnline.com, WWE is putting a lot more effort and creativity into making this year's Fastlane pay-per-view a much larger event on the road to WrestleMania 32. The Wrestling Observer reports and claims that the Royal Rumble match in less than 2 weeks is written out, and whatever WWE has planned for Fastlane will be a major event going into Dallas in April. WWE officials reportedly want the pay-per-view to feel like a big event instead of a last pay-per-view before WrestleMania. That makes sense since it's right in the middle of the road to WrestleMania. As previously reported, Brock Lesnar and Chris Jericho are both advertised to appear at the event. Lesnar's involvement must mean his WrestleMania plans are ready, and we'll know more in 2 weeks. That's the latest report as of today from Dave Meltzer. So yesterday, I reported that Lesnar and his plans were up in the air, and today, Lesnar's involvement must mean that his WrestleMania plans are ready, because he'll be at Fastlane. So, whatever the case may be, I am telling you right now, we're in for a screwy finish at the Royal Rumble, you know? I'm even throwing it out there. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a dual winner, like I mentioned, back in November. There might be a dual winner for the Royal Rumble. Who the fuck knows? You know? Who the fuck knows? So, I don't know what's going on, but either way you look at it, Royal Rumble is going to end in controversy. We can all agree on that. But WWE wants to make Fastlane a grand pay-per-view, a top-level, grade A pay-per-view, which it should be. You're on the road to WrestleMania. Everything needs to feel important leading up to WrestleMania. You can't have it slack like it did last year. The only match that was worth anything on that card, the Rusev versus Cena match, was okay, but the match with Bryan and Roman Reigns was very, very good. And it was the start of Roman's, I'd say, main event taste. You know, he got a taste for the main event. Then he went on to Brock Lesnar and delivered a hell of a match with Lesnar at WrestleMania. But the match against Bryan, too, was a damn good fucking match. And that's what Daniel Bryan brings to the table. You know, Roman Reigns, nobody wanted Roman Reigns to be there. We all wanted Daniel Bryan. You know, WWE looked to Daniel Bryan to put Roman over, and that's exactly what he did. He made Roman look good. And that's what Daniel Bryan does for the WWE. Speaking of the Rumble, WWE has the finish of the Royal Rumble match written, and the finish will lead to a big match at Fastlane in February. F4WOnline.com reports that WWE wanted to have an A-level pay-per-view going into WrestleMania 32 and not a B-level pay-per-view like they've done in the past. Should we know that Brock Lesnar is advertised for Fastlane? Royal Rumble takes place on the 24th of January in Orlando, Florida. This is the updated card for the pay-per-view. We got Charlotte versus Becky for the Divas Championship. We got a last man standing match for the Intercontinental title. Dean Ambrose versus Kevin Owens. And this right now are the participants in the Royal Rumble. Listen to this. We got Roman Reigns, Big Show, Curtis Axel, Ryback, Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman, Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, Dolph Ziggler, Chris Jericho. That's 10. Kalisto, Dean Ambrose, Kofi Kingston, Big E, Xavier Woods, Brock Lesnar, Stardust, Goldust, Kevin Owens, Jimmy Uso. That's 20. Jey Uso, Titus O'Neil, Alberto Del Rio, Sheamus, Dolph Ziggler, Mark Henry, Devon Dudley, Bubba Ray Dudley, Adam Rose, Heath Slater, and Bo Dallas. That might be changed. That has to be changed. Out of all the names there, rewind if you must. Out of all the names there, possible winners: Jericho, Roman, Lesnar, Owens, Sheamus. There's nobody in that fucking match. Nobody. Why is Adam Rose in the Royal Rumble? Why is Heath Slater and Bo Dallas in the Royal Rumble? Why? Names like that should not be in the Royal Rumble. Should not be. I'm sorry. WWE has to fucking write who's in the Rumble. There's no way. There's no way. This Royal Rumble may be, star-wise, the worst ever. If that's the fucking case. Seriously. I see nothing there. You know what I see? I see 29 other guys who are nothing but fucking anchovies for fucking Brock Lesnar. Seriously. That's all I see there. You know? I don't know. I mentioned that WWE needs to have a star-studded Royal Rumble, make this believable. You know? You want to give Roman Reigns a fucking struggle to retain the title in the Royal Rumble? This is not it. You're better off just having Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns in the main event of the Royal Rumble. Fuck the Royal Rumble. That would be more of a challenge. At this point, that's awful. Totally fucking awful. This month's Royal Rumble pay-per-view is the most anticipated in recent memory. Sure. The pay-per-view is always one of the most anticipated because of the Royal Rumble match itself. But Roman Reigns defending the WWE title in the match makes it one of the more important pay-per-views in WWE history. WWE is aware of that and planning accordingly. According to PW Insider, while in New Orleans this week for Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, WWE held a major creative meeting to begin booking the Royal Rumble match and all other aspects of the pay-per-view. WWE has a lot on their plate when it comes to the Royal Rumble. It's deeper than selecting the winner, but the match has many questions, including what number to place on superstars like Brock Lesnar. Number 2. It only makes sense, people. It only makes sense. Lesnar can last. He's a fucking superstar beast athlete. And Roman coming out at number 1 and Lesnar coming out at number 2. I mean, who doesn't want to see that? I'd love to see that. You know? It's a lot more unpredictable than having Lesnar come out at number 28. Think a little. There's been a lot of rumors about former New Japan Pro Wrestling stars having a spot in the match. In fact, the original plan for AJ Styles and his WWE debut was to be a surprise entrant in the Rumble. Mistake. I don't need to explain why this is a fucking mistake. It was revealed earlier this week that Shinsuke Nakamura is going to be at the WWE Performance Center in February, so he is not going to be in the Rumble. That will forbid him because he still has a contract with New Japan up until February. However, AJ Styles and Doc Gallows are definitely in negotiations. No one has been signed as far as we know, but something could be worked out on a pay-per-appearance basis to introduce some of these stars to the WWE audience slowly until an official deal is reached between both parties. Fuck that. This is going to be the last story for part 2. Fuck that. You don't want to introduce AJ Styles and Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson in the Royal Rumble. Why would you do that? Why? This Royal Rumble has nothing on anybody else. It's fuck everybody else, and it's all going to be about Roman. Lesnar's going to be there, Triple H is going to be there. Why would you introduce AJ Styles and pay him all this money? And Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson and pay them all this money for the Bullet Club to come into the WWE, to only be in the Rumble and pretty much be eliminated by a Brock Lesnar. Why? Why? Patience. I don't get why they need to be in the Rumble if they're not going to have a fucking decent go at it. If they're not winning the Rumble, why? If you're not lining these guys up to pull a major swerve and fucking overtake the Rumble and win the whole fucking thing, then it doesn't make any sense. Wrestlemania weekend. The Monday Night Raw following WrestleMania is when you debut these guys. Contracts will be signed, negotiations would be finished, performance center training would be done, injuries would be healed, and then you can start brand new. Do the thing that I told you about. Oh, what did you talk about, JD? I'll link you the fucking video in the description so I don't have to go over it again. Free. Free. I work for free, WWE. I work for free. And if you are that fucking ignorant, where you can't have just a little patience, because your roster is decimated with injuries, that doesn't mean you have to put AJ Styles and Doc Gallows in the fucking Royal Rumble. Go out and sign a Rob Van Dam. Go out and get somebody else, man. The Rock, a Goldberg, whatever. Leave Styles and the Bullet Club for a later date. They don't need to be in Orlando. They don't. Why? Because I'll link you in the description, that's why. I'm not going to go over it here. I laid out to you, and even on Off the Script last weekend, I laid out to you. You can go fucking watch part 2 of Off the Script last weekend. I laid out the perfect situation to debut the Bullet Club. The Royal Rumble is not it. The Royal Rumble is not it. That would be a fucking colossal failure right out of the gate. Nobody's going to take them seriously. You want to bring these guys and you want to import them from Japan and go out there and be Mr. Big Shot and steal all of New Japan Pro Wrestling guys away from that company, you better be fucking doing something special with them, motherfucker. I'll tell you that. You have an invasion of NWO-type proportions on your hands. It needs to be carried out as such. I am handing you information on a silver platter. That's all I'm going to say. The Royal Rumble is about Roman. It's about Triple H. It's about Brock Lesnar. And it's about the WWE Championship. That's it. Everybody else in that Rumble is a fucking nobody. Jericho, Sheamus, Rusev, whoever you want to put in there is a fucking nobody. And if AJ Styles and Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson or any one of those guys, one or all three, if they're in the Rumble, they will be nobodies. They will be on the same level as a social outcast. You don't want that. Patience. Monday Night Raw, following WrestleMania. Do as I say, and your ratings will increase. Do as I say, and you will have the storyline of the last 10 years on your hands. Do as I say, and take my idea. Call me on my cell phone. JD, we want you to come to Stanford and sign a contract to be on the creative team. Oh yeah? Great. Awesome. I'll be right over. I'm 20 minutes away. And that's off the script. That's off the script. If you guys enjoyed, let me know what you guys are thinking down below. Hit that thumbs up. As always, greatly appreciate all your support. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. I'll be back with more news on part 3. Major developments you will not hear anywhere else about CM Punk. Who the fuck is he fighting and when? I got all the news for you. Punk in the UFC. It's official. Let's do it. Part 3, Sunday. I'll see you guys over there. Thank you. Subscribe. Hit the like button. Follow me on Twitter, Pro Wrestling Tees. Watch my Danger Zone video where I talk about the AJ Styles situation, or you can just reference Off the Script Part 2. It's down there. All right? And make sure you guys go download Podbean if you want more JD, man. Separate Off the Script from what you see here. Brand new podcast experience. Go listen. Go follow. Go download. Enjoy. Show some support. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Thank you for watching.